Okay, so this is now round 3. Anyways, this is round 3 here at Metcalf. The ride's going fine. It's this camera setup I have. Back in the day, it used to be GoPro that would mess up. Now it's this DJI. It's not really its fault. I don't think it's made for this kind of rugged activity by such a rugged man. Anyways, my audio was cutting in and out, and I had to do this little MacGyver with some tape. All right, so I'm going to do this trail again really quick. I'm going to do it backwards. Not backwards, but in reverse order. I like this park. You know, it's close. It's got some shade. It's within my abilities. It's pretty dry. I wouldn't mind coming here after like a rain or something like that to see how well the trails are. I do feel more comfortable on the bike. I think with every time I go off-roading here, not here, but in general, I get more and more comfortable with riding it. I was saying before on my other times that I rode this, I was mentioning how the Northern Cal BDR, it seems to be the sections are kind of short enough to do within a day and then come back. So I might just do that, like ride out there early in the morning and then do a section and come back. I kind of thought I would have to camp or find hotel, like lodging, food, all that jazz, but I think that if I zip on out there early enough, just kind of take my time with it, I should be okay. The one thing I wanted to do was see if I could come up with a self-recovery system with some kind of like collapsible poles, some really strong collapsible poles, and a ratchet type strap, so that I can kind of use leverage and physics to right my bike if it happened to fall in like in a really bad kind of downward position. So I might practice with that. The other thing I did was lower the tire pressure to 25 pounds each. I may have mentioned that earlier, but in case I don't edit that part in, I did want to mention it here. It does make quite a difference. I ordered new tires, the Motaz Traxinator GPS. It's a little bit more road biased. There's like a center strip of rubber down the middle. Originally, I got like both for front and rear. Originally, I wanted to get the the GPS for the rear, and then I wanted to get the ADV or the Adventure for the front, but it wasn't available. And the only place, or I went with the place that had both tires available, and they were just both GPS tires. Front tires are hard to get, apparently. That's the other thing I noticed, that, you know, when I used to have my my dirt bike, my enduro bike, and you know, I was just getting into that. Didn't really explore that bike too much, but I remember I was upgrading it or modifying it with different parts, and working with motorcycle vendors was like the most frustrating thing, because it seemed like basically they were all like dirt bike guys, which I have nothing against, but there are a bunch of dirt bike guys who, you know, basically have a company where they're selling parts, and they weren't like the most administratively strong. Like sometimes you would call them and you hear motorcycles in the background. They can't, you know, they don't want to really answer questions, or you have questions about this or that or return. And that's why I think like Revzilla is doing so well, because they just like, they bring like a certain level of professionality to the vendor business, motorcycle vendor business. Whoa. Yeah, it's pretty ruddy though. That's the thing with this trail. It's a lot more ruddier than where was I yesterday? Not yesterday, last week. I was where? Yeah, this guy's got a Tuareg. He's not the most talkative guy. I almost seem European or something. That or a criminal. I'm not saying all Europeans are criminals, but it just gave me that vibe of a European criminal. Anyways, I'm feeling a lot more comfortable. It's my third time going up this thing. Am I in second gear? Downhill, I'm not that strong. Mainly because it's like, I don't know what's at the bottom per se. Like, I'm afraid that the bottom, if it's washed out or if it's sandy, then I won't be able to make a turn or something like that. I guess this is pretty straightforward. Like this stuff, I don't know how. Oh, see, the front end kind of washed out there. The other thing I'm thinking about doing is maybe taking a course, like a one-day course or something like that. There's some offered at the Sierra Basins or whatever. Sierra Basin, I should say. So I might do that before the BDR. I think that'd be kind of fun. Well, this is by far the fastest I've ever gone off-road here, or Carnegie. I don't know if I should even be dropping it down to first gear or not. The other thing I had a question about was when you air down, let's say you go play some trail and you air down for the trail, and then you're done with it. Do you just ride back at low tire pressure, or do you air up somehow with either CO2 or portable pump of some sort? I swear I need to go with someone that's done this before, or I need to find a group of people that I could pick their brain. I should probably just watch the internet. There's enough people out there talking about what to do. I'm going to try a different section of this trail. Another thing, I'm able to pick my lines a little bit better versus just going over whatever. This is like the trickiest part right here. I think this is all silty. I want to try this trail. Trail 2, here, this one, 2A. I've done this before. I've got to really find some people to ride with. Kind of fun. All right, this is now my fourth time doing this. Each time I'm getting more and more comfortable. Also, each time I'm figuring out the camera setup. So hopefully this time will be the best out of all of them. Clean this camera. Clean this one. This one's clean. Alright, I'm going to do the sections I've been doing, but kind of quicker. Oh, I'm going to turn on the key. Here we go. Yeah, so here's my analysis. Regular motorcycle riders, dirt bike motorcycle riders, not so much street bike. I haven't ridden street for a while, but dirt bike motorcycle riders, all super nice. Like every single one of them. Super friendly, super nice. Every ADV rider that I've met, and I've only met 3, kind of odd. I mean, they're not nice, or they're not mean, but they're just kind of odd. I don't know what the deal is. It's just my observation. Could be just the Bay Area. I know, like, you know, viewers on my channel, they're all pretty nice. Very cool. Offer me advice, suggestions, things like that. Oh yeah. So I know that the ADV community in general is nice, but in the Bay Area, at least the ones I've run into, maybe it's just because of the situation. They just feel like intimidated or what, I don't know. But sample size of 3 for the Bay Area. It's not looking too good. So this route is pretty short, pretty simple. It's got a couple little steep areas, but outside of that, pretty straightforward. And I'm going to do this other section. I'll just do this twice and then put the camera away and then practice a little bit without worrying about the camera and the audio. Like, I always wonder how much of an angle you can take these corners on a 450-pound bike. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Oh shit. Well, you know what the other thing I might have to do at some point is figure out my suspension. I can't remember the last thing that I did on it, but I did something that helped out quite a bit, but just assuming it's dialed in. Oh shit, something came on my helmet. Yeah, alright. What is this? Something in my helmet. What is this? Alright. That was a near disaster. I had a bit of bee. Two times I've been stung by a bee has been on a mountain bike and on a motorcycle. I'm not necessarily allergic to them, but they hurt. Oh, I gotta turn it on. Alrighty. The ruddy sections you're supposed to stand. And that's the dealio. Where am I at here? Let's do that one section again and not take that bypass. Yeah, I'm gonna say you need to stand for the ruddies, this kind of stuff, and let your legs kind of be the shock absorber, so that it's kind of lugging here. I need more momentum. Anyways, you got to stand so that your legs can kind of absorb all these little bumps, these whoops, or whatever you call them. Yeah. Ooh. Alright, nice. Well, this kind of got bent. Alright. That was pretty good. Alright, let me get these cameras off and then get going.